Very good evening to everyone. This is Carol, Kilo Papa for Mike Delta, your net control operator for the River City Arc Slow Scan Television Net. This net serves for training and practice in image transmission modes and meets Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. on this N6NA repeater on 441.30 megahertz. River City Arc's members and all licensed radio amateurs are welcome to participate. If you wish to join the net or need to make a call at any time, please announce your call sign between our transmissions and the net control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need the repeater, please contact net control by saying break, break. A double break signifies emergency traffic. The net will stand by for you until the emergency is terminated or the traffic is moved to another frequency. Any stations who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name. I will recognize each station before I continue. Any station who wishes to check into the net, please come now. Yeah, I think somebody was trying to check in, but there was no modulation. Could you please try again?
November 6 Hotel Alpha, Bill in Roseville.
Okay, thank you, Bill. November 6 Hotel Alpha. Do we have any other check-ins?
Kilo India 6 Hotel Foxtrot Papa.
Okay, Kilo India 6 Hotel Foxtrot Papa. What's your name, please?
The name here is Chris in Sacramento, California.
Okay, thank you, Chris in Sacramento. We have you as number 2. Do we have any other check-ins? Okay, I don't hear anybody else right now. We may have perhaps a small group on the frequency here. I do have Walter, the K6HTD, who's watching on the YouTube, and he's checked into our live chat. Okay, one final call. Are there any other check-ins for our slow scan net at this time? Okay, nothing heard. We'll go ahead and start off then with you, Bill, N6HA. If you have a picture, we're ready to receive. Over.
Yeah, I have a photo. It's good to hear you, Chris. I think you're George's son, so it's good to hear you on the net. Welcome. So this is going to be PD120 N6HA.
Okay, thank you very much for that picture, Bill. It came through very clear here. I don't see any pixel pops at all. And I'll turn it over to you, Chris. I don't remember hearing you on this net before. I wonder if you are set up for receiving, and if you did receive this picture, if you could make any comments on how you received it and what you think about it. Over.
First time participator in the net, long time listener. My dad, November 6 Yankee Golf, participates religiously, and I'd watch him do it. As far as the picture, it came through amazing. It looks to appear to be a old school gator. Those things are a lot of fun. Back to you, Carol.
Okay, thank you. I have no idea what this is, but it looks like some um, kind of a rough terrain vehicle. It looks like a fun thing, but I have to say it's got looks like three wheels on this side. It must have three wheels on the other, and they're nice big hefty wheels, and it looks like something you sit in and drive around. Actually, the front of it almost looks like one of my garbage bins, but that just shows you how ignorant I am of this. Okay, I'll turn it over to you, Bill. And Walter, as I said, K6HTD is watching on YouTube, and he says he's planning on setting up so he can participate possibly in the late fall. So over to you, Bill, and please fill us in on this N6HA KP4MD.
Yeah, it is a all-terrain vehicle. It's called an amphibicat. It's six wheels and it drives like a tank because you could independently spin each side like if you were on treads and spin a circle if you want. It's called an amphibicat because it actually could go in water also. So it has a fiberglass hull and it could go into the water. On land, it could do about 30 to 40 miles an hour, but once you get in water, I think you're lucky to get 10. So it's more of a maybe go and enjoy the lake instead of ripping around in it. This was my dad's. He's had it, for a while now, and I don't think he's going to get around to fixing it. So he ended up asking me if anybody wanted it, and one of my friends just moved to a place where he has access to his own little lake that's shared with the other neighbors, but he has nothing to go out on the lake with. So I offered it to him, and he's going to fix it up and hopefully be able to drive it down his driveway and right into his lake. So I look forward to him fixing it up. N6HA.
Very interesting, amphibicat. Well, Walter typed in the live chat Argo six-wheel amphibious vehicle. Have you ever heard of that, Bill? Over.
Yeah, I see the Argo. That looks like a modern-day version of this almost. This looks a little more ruggedized. And the amphibicat was sold in the 70s. That's why it has that vintage look. And this Argo looks very, very similar. They also had another name for these. There's a few names depending on who you ask. I wouldn't be surprised if they sold it under a lot of names. So I do think it needs this one needs a lot more work. So this Argo, the Argo sells new for $13,000. So hopefully you can get this fixed for less than that.
Thank you very much for that, Bill. Are there any other comments before we move on at this point, KP4MD? Okay, yeah. Walter says different model, company likely, same idea. Very good. Thank you so much, Walter, for participating on the live chat. Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you. I don't know, are you set up for sending a picture? And if you are, we would love you to do so. Over.
Well, I successfully have sent some pictures on HF. It's going to be my first attempt on VHF, so I'm going to send out a quick 1750 signal real quick just to verify that MMSTV is communicating with my radio correctly. And then if that goes well, I'll go ahead and send the picture back to you, Charles.
Okay, we're standing by. Yes, you have an excellent tone. Go right ahead, please, Chris. Very good. This is Kilo Papa for Mike Delta. We did receive that picture, and I'll turn it over to you, Bill, to see your comment on this picture, if you're getting that, if you received it. Over.
Yeah, I don't know if it's me or if for me to get the scale from this photo, but yeah, it looks like someone's pulling their boat out of the water to do something with it, maybe to get it maintained. So I don't know if you own a boat or if you happened to walk by this to take a photo. So yeah, interesting to hear more. N6AJ.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is KP4MD. Um, Walter, yeah, I had a problem here with my internet connection. I had to switch to a different router, and okay, good, the audio's back. So there might have been a little dropout on YouTube. Uh, yeah, there was definitely some fading, and there was a place where Chris's picture, like 2/3 of the way down, it dropped. It almost looks like it dropped out completely. So the signal into the repeater from Chris was a little on the light side, not as strong as your picture was. So we're seeing a lot of snow on the picture as well. Yeah, but interesting. It's got good colors, and it looks like some kind of a boat that's up uh, on a trailer. I don't think I've ever seen a boat like that on a trailer, but it looks like it has a kind of a long keel. And if it's a sailboat would do have long keels, and that's the reason why they would have to have it raised up like that. Um, Interesting. I wonder if this is where you got this picture, Chris, and you can explain it to us a little bit more. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see exactly what we saw there. And Ken March is saying on LiveTube he got a lot of static in this transmutation. It's not in my imagination. So over to you, Chris. KI6HFP. This is KP4MD. Over.
Yeah, I'm not getting into the repeater super well, I'm noticing. So just real quick, I wanted to get a signal report before I make comments on the picture on what my audio is sounding like into the repeater. I went ahead and bumped the power up to 25 watts. I sent that picture at about 10 watts. Back to you, Carol.
Okay, you're not quite full quieting. I would say that you've got about, I don't know, maybe about 15 or 20% noise, but it's not full quieting, but we can hear you just fine. Go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, sounds like I need to get this. I've been focusing so heavy on my HF antennas, I've neglected my 2-meter setup, so I need to get this antenna up a little bit higher, get it above the roof line, and I think it'll improve. As far as the picture goes, that's actually a boat that me and my wife purchased just recently with the help of my dad with the survey on it, and that is actually probably the biggest boat that you could buy that is still considered trailerable. It's a 25-foot boat, and it's about 9 to 9.5 feet wide, so it's a bigger boat, but yeah. We purchased our first sailboat, and we're excited to get it in the water and start sailing. That picture was taken after closing the deal on it, and I figured it was fitting to be the first picture I sent over. Hopefully, the next time the net comes around, I'll have a slightly better setup, and my signal into the repeater will be better, and my pictures will be better. But that's pretty much the story on that. That's our first sailboat that we've ever bought. Back to you, Carol.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. Yes, absolutely. This picture is quite acceptable, and it's a pretty good quality for a first-time picture that you're sending. And raising the power did make a difference. It's it could be rough on your transmitter if you're sending a picture though at higher power, because sometimes it overheats the final amplifier. So we try to run our radios not exactly on the maximum full out 100% power. But okay, thank you very much. And Ken says, my new dual band mobile rig arrived next Tuesday. Looking forward to joining the SlowScan TV Net next week. And Walter says, congratulations on the boat. You can maritime mobile now. That's very good. Okay, I'm going to take one standby to see if we have any other comments or any other check-ins before I send a picture. This is KP4MD with this River City Arc SlowScan television net. Over.
Hey, Carol in the net from Norway 6 Yankee, Germany. George here in Sacramento.
Hey, George, N6YG, long time no hear. It's great. Thank you for joining us. Are you just tuning in now, or would you like to go ahead and send a picture now if you're set up? Over.
No, I'm sitting next to my son here at his house. We just got done working on his station and getting everything set up. So I'm just checking in and saying hello, and we'll send it back to net from N6YG. And by the way, yeah, you were on vacation. I think you went on vacation, and then you did the fair. So yeah, we haven't had a chance to talk in a while. I haven't been able to get into the net in a while. So back to net, N6YG.
Oh yeah, I was over on the East Coast in May. Then I went to Puerto Rico at the end of June, and then I did 2 solid weeks at the state fairs. I've been off the the net for a while. It's great to hear you on again there, George. Thank you so much for checking in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send a picture, and this is going to be PD120. This is KP4MD. Okay, we're going to go back up there to Bill. I don't know if you've seen this picture already. I wonder how you received it and your comments on it. Over.
Yeah, okay copy here. Fair amount of pixel pops. I'm not sure if I'm having trouble tonight receiving, because I've been getting a lot of pops and dropouts. So I might need to go check my antenna since it rained recently. But yeah, a good amount of pixel pops, but came over well still. I can see it. I do know about this because I saw it in Discord. So I'll leave the explanation to you. But yeah, I could even read the text over slow scan. So this did come over really well, and nice piece of little history here. N6HA.
Okay, thank you very much on that, Bill. I'll turn it over to you, Chris, KI6HFP. How did you receive this and your comments on this? Over.
It came over pretty well. Got some pixel pops, but it's a clear picture and I can read it. The Ramey Air Force Base in Puerto Rico. That's appears to be a QSL card. That's super cool. Definitely, definitely frame worthy. That's a really cool picture. I like it. I don't have too much else to add as far as the technicalities on the picture. I'm still learning this, doing this stuff. So I'm happy with it. It looks good. And with that, I'll send it back to you, Carol.
Okay, this is KP4MD. I don't know what happened there, but it looks like my what was? Yeah, it looks like my. Okay, I got the picture back up there now. Yeah, this is a First of all, I'm going to ask George, are you watching and did you see this picture too? Do you have any comments? Over.
Yeah, it came over real well. I'm kind of sitting a little ways away from the monitor. There's some pixel pops across it. This is your QSL card from when you were working from the Air Force Base, is what I'm assuming in Puerto Rico. I guess I probably never worked going to. I'm trying to see this. So you worked a VE3 station, it looks like. So it's interesting. You'll have to tell us about it.
Okay, yeah, this is Killer Papa for Mike Delta. Walter says on live chat, Carol, thanks to your web link to old call sign directories, I've been doing research on several call signs. Very neat. Yeah, this is actually not my card. It is my call sign, but this was the original holder of the call sign KP4MD. It was, if you look at the bottom of the card, it has the operator's name, Jethro Cummins Jack in quotation marks, and the date of this QSO was January 21st, 1951, which was, I wasn't even born then. So this was a serviceman, from what I understand, in the Air Force who was stationed there, was issued this call sign in 1951 and had it for a few years before moving back to the States, and then promptly changed this call sign. I believe it was W5IUF. So he didn't have that call sign for very long, and it was never activated or issued again until I requested it back in 1977. So I found this. One thing I do is I like to Google myself to see, what's going on the internet, on the search engines, and I Googled KP4MD, and this popped up, and it was on eBay. It's a QSL card out of somebody's collection that somebody's trying to sell on eBay for like $13 or $14. Not that I'm going to buy it, but I took a scan of the picture from eBay. I said, "This is awesome." I looked, just for historical purposes. And if you're able to read more of the details on this picture, it was a CW contact on 7 megahertz. Back then they called it megacycles, and the operator wrote out at the bottom of the card, "Sure, please to get that T9." T9, of course, in Morse code means that it was a very pure tone. There wasn't any hum on the tone, and it was on a BC458. Now, apparently his transmitter he was using was a command set, a World War II command set, which is the BC458, and those are interesting rigs. I actually had one back in the 70s. When he used it, of course, in 1951, it was only 6 years after the end of World War II. And that was a World War II command set that they used in airplanes, and had a pair of 1625, which is the 12-volt filament equivalent of the 807s. It was a tuned oscillator. I think it was a Colpitts. I don't think it was a Hartley oscillator, and the oscillator tube was driving the two 1625s, and I don't know if it would put out something like 80 or 90 watts, maybe that much. It had a dynamotor to provide the high voltage on it, and I believe those things were wired for like 28 volts. That's the way they wired the filaments on those. So quite interesting to see evidence of my call sign being used back in those years. I'll take a standby, see if anybody has any more comments on this. It's KP4MD. Nothing heard, but I do love history, and I love looking up this stuff and learning about what's well things because amateur radio has been around for over 100 years, and we can learn a lot of stuff from what's happened in the past, and gives you a better appreciation for all that we have today. Well, we've done one complete round. I'm gonna see. Does anybody have any other pictures they would like to send at this time, or else we'll go ahead and close the net. Over.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to find old QSL card. My call sign was used by an active ham that just moved to a different call area, so he switched from a 6 to a 7 call. So hindsight, I should have got one that was unused like yours, and Ben, surprisingly, you said has never been used, so that's good for K6GEO. But yeah, I was wondering if George had a lot of photos from his Wyoming trip, if you wanted to share one, and 6HA.
Yeah, I'm not at my station, so I don't really have any pictures. And I guess I got some on my phone. Chris has another picture he could send, though.
Okay, very good. Yeah, Chris, if you do have another picture, we'd love to see it. Then you're welcome to go ahead and send it. Scapy for MD. Okay, thank you very much for that, Chris. I'll turn it back over to you, Bill. How did you copy that and your comments on it? Over.
Yeah, good copy here. Some pixel pops, but I can make out what's going on. Yeah, it looks like a vertical antenna. No, you know what? That looks like a 2-meter antenna, maybe. I can see the radials coming out on the bottom, and then it goes way up in the sky. So I'm going to guess that's maybe like a Diamond 510 or something. It looks pretty big. It might be a monoband vertical, but it sure does look like one of those Diamond antennas for VHF and UHF. And then there's somebody in the foreground there. I can't make out if that's George or if that's someone else. It's hard to say who that is. They look like they're wearing shoes. So you should probably wear shoes out in the open field. But yeah, it looks like a nice antenna, and maybe that's the one you're talking on right now, N6HA.
Okay, N6HA, this is KP4MD. I got a note here from Walter. Says some pixels, but better than the sailboat picture, and I agree with that. And Ken March says same here. Fairly clear picture of a big vertical antenna. And I'm going to guess that that's George standing in that picture because it looks like he's holding on to some kind of a cane there. And I know that George sometimes walks with a cane. Next to, it looks like a 10-foot mast or something there coming out of the ground, or it could be a section of tower. And then the antenna is mounted on the top of that. And that antenna is, vertical is pretty darn tall. I think it's probably close to almost 20 feet from the radials up. So I can't say, you know, it could be an HF vertical antenna of some kind. The resolution is not good enough to really to tell too much more about it. And yeah, definitely better quality than the sailboat picture. Although, I would say coming up to maybe 30 or 40% pixel pops throughout the picture. That there's that much snow, but it's a lot better than the sailboat picture. So I'll turn it back over to you, Chris, and maybe you can tell us more about this. KI6HFP. This is KP4MD. Over.
Okay, go ahead. Well, Christopher tossed me the microphone. And Carol, you're the closest. That's a Hustler, not a Hustler, I'm sorry. That's a Cushcraft R7 sitting on top of an 8-foot mast. There's a T-post hammered to the ground and some saddle clamps to hold the mast in place, and there's some guy wires on it. So that's his vertical. That's Christopher's vertical. We picked that up secondhand and we went through it. Although you can't see it, in the air above it, about 50 feet up, is an N-fed, 80-meter N-fed half wave that's working like gangbusters. It's, in fact, there's so much room between the two trees that it's strung up between. I'm almost thinking we might be able to do a 160-meter N-fed on it. We're not even halfway across. The insulator's dangling, you know, halfway between the two posts, so we might have to rebuild it as 160 meters. But it's working real good. So I've been over here on and off. Was over here for a week, and then I think 2 weeks prior to that, helping Chris get his station set up. We made when I got here on 20 meters, he had an S9 noise floor. Today he has an S1 noise floor. I built a bunch of chokes out of FT 240 31 mix cores, and got those installed, and that kind of that really helped reduce the noise floor. Chris built his first one. He built the choke yesterday, and he crimped on his own PL 259s onto it. He's real proud of it. So yeah, he's running an ICOM 7000 right now. We've got an automatic LDG antenna tuner and a switch going to 2 different antennas. So he's got a pretty good little station set up here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and send it back to net, N6YG.
Okay, thank you very much, George. Wow, that's yeah, I had a suspicion it was an HF antenna. It just wasn't clear enough to say any more about that. And no, we don't see the wire antenna up there at all, of course, with all of those pixel pops. But yeah, I'm really happy for you that you're able to help Chris get his station going. I'd like to do the same for my grandson back out in Virginia. They're going to be moving actually into out of an apartment and moving into a house. They're supposed to be doing that this month. And they have a good little piece of property there. They could put up some good HF antenna. But I'm waiting for him to upgrade to his general. He's got the technician, and I did tell him if he, when he gets his general license, I'll get him set up with an HF station. And I'll go out there and help set him up with his antenna and everything, and with an HF station. He'd be absolutely thrilled. He's turning 16 years old actually this month, the coming month. So, but he's had a little fun with his 2 meters and his 440 out there where he is in rural southwest part of Virginia. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing that picture. Do we have any other comments on this picture or any other comments before we close the net? This is KP4MD.
Well, nobody's going to say a comment. Yeah, hopefully he gets his general and takes you up on it. The best thing I ever did, just want to make sure I wasn't doubling. The best thing I ever did was suck up my pride and have my dad come over and teach me a lot of things. I learned more in these past 2 weeks about antennas and coax and all the science behind it than I think I ever did with the studying the information for the exams and everything like that. Yeah, and I learned to use a nano VNA, and that's in my Amazon cart now. That is an absolute necessity. I can use it for everything from SWR to tuning the vertical. That thing was a lifesaver for tuning the vertical. It's not perfect because it doesn't push a lot of power through it, but it's good enough to tell you if you're off frequency, and it saved me a bunch of trips. And that's awesome to hear he's buying his own house, so he'll have the complete freedom. I'm completely spoiled with where I'm at right now. I went up to my landlord ready with the spiel, Army vet, and wanted to do all this stuff, and I wanted to set up some antennas. I got this 10-acre plus plot behind me, and she looked at me and said, "Do you need to drill into the building?" "No, ma'am. I don't care what you do. There's a gate by the pool, and go have fun." So I'm definitely lucky that I was able to get this kind of set up and also be able to learn all the knowledge. So, and my dad said I built my first choke, and one of the best things about that was I learned that I'm probably never going to buy pre-made coax again. It's significantly cheaper just to buy it by the foot and spend a couple bucks on some ends and take a half an hour out of your day to toss those ends on there. And then you also get the satisfaction of it. Say you built it yourself. Anyways, that being said, I'll send it back to you, Carol.
Yeah, KI6HFP. This is Kilo Papa for Mike Delta and the River City Arcs Slow Scan Television Net. Very good. I am just so thrilled that you're happy and that you got. I have to tell you, those license guides for studying for your license just gives you the absolute bare essentials. It's nothing like the experience that you get from working, actually doing stuff, and relating with others who have been doing radio for a while, like your dad there. So that is awesome, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to also help my grandson. I got him set up with his J-pole antenna, and he's got a couple of dual band rigs, and he's got a couple of dual band handhelds. So he's all set up, with the UHF VHF. But being out in the rural part of the foothills, he's very limited. He's got a good number of repeaters around there, and there's some good repeater networks. But you're talking to the same people all the time, and most of those people over there are all retired, and I remember when I was first on the air, I was a teenager, and I was talking with a lot of retired folks too. But we did have a few more younger people around my age as well, so it wasn't all that lonely. But I'm sure he'll love the opportunity to get on HF and to meet a broader spectrum of people that are in the hobby. Okay, very good. That's excellent. We're going to do one final call out. Any further comments before we close the nets? KP4MD.
Alright, well, I don't hear anybody, so I'll throw out one last comment. If there's any stations out here listening that was too scared to check in or a little too nervous, the best piece of advice I can give you is listen to these ham radio operators that have been in the hobby for a while. It seems to be migrating to swiping the credit card and not experiencing half the thrill of it. The whole reason I even got into ham radio was watching my dad buy a cheap pair of crutches at Goodwill and attaching some wire he got from a construction site from a junk piece of extension cord, and proceeding to work a station on 20 meters in Australia. Everything was homebrew back then, and we're definitely spoiled with being able to just go down and buy stuff in an emergency, but if you really want to experience the best part of ham radio, don't be afraid to get in there and make mistakes and learn. That's half the fun. I've enjoyed ham radio more in the past 2 weeks than since I was licensed at 12 years old. Don't be scared to make a mistake. Coax, you mess up an end, cut it off, and put a new one on. Big deal. It costs experience of doing it, and being able to sit there and say I built it, or picking up an old antenna, something that's not brand new, and bringing it back to life. That's bragging rights in my eyes. So with that being said, that's the last comment I had. Back to you, Carol.
That's excellent, and thank you so much for saying that, Chris. Andy Cowley, who's one of our normal followers there on our live chat, typed in, it is good for you to talk to the Youth on the Air group. That would be something great for you to do, and the way you're talking right now, I'm sure is a great encouragement to a lot of others who might listen to this now or might tune into it, because I know we have several, usually we have several dozen people or almost 100 people a month that go on to these sessions on YouTube and watch them. So that's very good. Thank you so much for that testimony. Well, at this point, we're going to go ahead and secure the net. We want to thank everyone who participated in tonight's Slow Scan Television Net. We hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Pacific Time. This net is now officially closed at 9:50 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. This is Carol, Kilo Papa for Mike Delta, near Sacramento, California, now wishing you all a good evening and 773.
Good night, Carol. Thanks for running it, and welcome to the net, Chris. It's always nice to have new voices. It's ahead of George for me, and yeah, that Nano VNA is a very good purchase. I think that was my first purchase in ham radio, and I can't live without it now. So they're actually doing a class on Nano VNA coming up here soon if you wanted to enroll in it. I think there's one spot left. I think you find more information on the N6NA website.
Yeah, absolutely. The Nano VNA is absolutely amazing. I live by the philosophy that, short of vulgar language or anything like that, you make a simple mistake, and, ham radio operators are very polite, and they'll correct you and stuff like that. And I kind of apply that same philosophy to trying new equipment. My dad handed it to me, and I was terrified, but I was like, you know what, worst case scenario, I just got to hand it back to him and he'll fix it. And I started playing around with it, and just not being afraid to, mess with it. It opened my eyes. Because it was funny, I was down at a store recently looking at picking up a antenna analyzer, and I just couldn't justify the price because I was just thinking, man, I could build one heck of an antenna for that. So I left without it, and my dad shined my eyes to the Nano VNA, and
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you have a good teacher with George, so I think you're in good hands. You might not even need the class, but yeah, you're right. It's a fun piece of equipment. I think the only thing that most people complain about with it is the screen size, but younger folks like us don't have that big of an issue with it. My main complaint is in the sun. It's hard to read, so maybe I need to build a little cowl for it so I can read it when I'm standing out in the sun getting sunburned. But that's a neat piece of kit. And next thing you're probably going to want is a tiny SA spectrum analyzer. That will really bump up your skill level too. That's a fun tool to play with.
Oh yeah, I can't compete with my dad's equipment, so when I want to play with the big boy toys, I'll just go over there and ask him politely to let me learn how to use his stuff. But you know, as far as the screen goes, I don't want to hold the net open too long, but that's funny you mentioned that. You can't make anybody happy when it comes to screen size. I just picked up a used FTM 400, and I love it. It reminds me of the old 2800. Icon 2800, perfect screen size for me. A lot of people complain about it, so they came out with the 5000 and it's super small, or 500, and it's too small. And then people complain that it's too small. But it's funny you mentioned the screen size. It seems like that's a big point of contention, but you know, at the end of the day, you can plug it into a tablet, you can plug it into your computer, and you know, you have a bigger screen that you can work with, and it significantly improves its performance and how much more powerful it is. You're not relying on just the DNA. You can use the application for calibrations and everything like that. Anyways, I don't want to keep the net open too long and break the rules here, so I'll go ahead and send it back to Carol. Kilo India 6, Hotel Foxtrot Papa. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I heard you say open it up for comments one more time before you closed it, so I didn't want to keep you hanging around. So I do apologize that I missed that.
Yeah, I'm fine with small screen sizes, so the FTM 400 would be good. And then, yeah, I thought she said she closed it, but maybe I missed it. Oh well, there's no hard and fast rules. It is amateur radio at the end of the day. We're all amateurs. I'm the biggest amateur of them all. So, you got any plans to go to the meeting on Tuesday? You and George could come. It's homebrew night, so if you've built something recently, it might be fun for you to show it off. I don't think we're having many presentators, so the competition isn't very steep. N6AJ.
This is Kilo India 6 Hotel Foxtrot Papa. Yeah, you know, I really would like to. I'm trying to get more active. I'm planning on joining a few clubs just to toss a few dollars in membership fees towards them to support them, but it's so hard for me to commit to something with, you know, the wife and the 2 kids, and, you know, the schedule can change at the last minute, and I just, my grandpa always told me the only thing you have is your word, so I tend to not say I'm gonna be there, or, you know, whatever it may be, and then something changes, and I'm a no-show. So, as of right now, if my schedule is open, I'll definitely plan on popping in to say hi and probably listen more than I show anything off, just to get some more ideas, but it's too hard to predict with my schedule.
Oh yeah, roger that. Yeah, I'm the same way. I have a 2-year-old, so it's hard to get out. Also, I probably Zoom a good portion of the meetings these days, but it's nice to go for the big ones. So yeah, if you're there, it would be nice to see you. If not, you know, that's understandable. It's hard for us non-retired folks to to make time for these things. So yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from, but it should be a fun one. I'm going to present something. I still haven't finished it, so we'll see if I get it done in time. I'm going to keep it close to my chest what it is. I'll be surprised. So yeah, it'd be cool if you could make it. If not, that's fine too. And Yeah, it's always good to be more active in the hobby. You don't have to be a member, actually, to go to a lot of these meetings. So I showed up to a couple different clubs before I joined just to see if it was the right fit for me. I think I ended up joining half of them anyways. Yeah, there's a lot of clubs in the area, but some are more active than others and bigger than others. So, yeah, there's free to show up. But if you can't make it, that's fine too. But hopefully I get my project finished in time. That's probably going to work on later tonight.
Oh, yeah, no, I completely understand. I'm technically temporarily medically retired, and I still have no free time. It seems like I wake up, take care of the family, take the kids to school, I get home. I just got ST8 working after trying to find the proper word. Driving my dad all day. He eventually kicked me out of the computer seat and took over and got everything working. We're trying to make do with what I have now until I decide what home station I really want to go with as far as the radio, because this will be the first brand new purchase I make, and I definitely don't want to rush into it. So it was a lot of command work and all that stuff. But I would definitely enjoy going. Might get a little jealous. I'll show up and people will say hi to me, and then my dad strolls in about 35 to 45 seconds later with his cane, because even though I got a bad back, mine's not nearly as bad as his, so I can move a little bit faster than him, and then he walks through the doors and the celebrity has appeared, and I'll just sink into the background. But I definitely want to start becoming more active in these clubs, just to meet people and everything like that. I always say not to forget about 440 and 2 meters, especially the local clubs, because at the end of the day, HF is a lot of fun, but these new hams coming in, the first place they stop is right around these parts. So trying to have a good presence, and like Carol said, the tests teach you the bare minimum, so they get on the air, and exposing them to the knowledgeable hams and the people that kind of have a love for the hobby at its purest sense of understanding how everything works. I definitely feel is a big thing before they migrate and leave us and go to HF. That was the one thing I told my dad when I got back into it after my 10-year hiatus, that I was never going to ditch 2 meters, because it seems like I noticed that as everybody gets their tag, then they move to get their general, and then they're never heard from again on 2 meters. And I have a lot of love for 2 meters, and I think people are so quick to move to HF that they miss a lot of fun on 2 meter 440. You do light signal work and all that fun stuff. So definitely keeping some knowledgeable people around, and a good presence of people at the meetings to push these new hams in the right direction is the way to go. This is Kilo India 6 Hotel Foxtrot Papa for ID.
KI6HFP from N6HA. Yeah, that's good. It's a good approach. I'm guilty myself of not doing enough VHF, UHF. I'll do the nets that I do, which aren't many, and then you can find me mostly on HF. So I'm guilty. I'm one of those people. But yeah, the clubs are still good to show. I always try to show up to club meetings, or at least participate to see if there's any new people that need help. And yeah, I think you have a good attitude already, and I think your comment about breaking the nano VNA and not worrying about it is the right approach. A lot of people are afraid that they'll break their gear, but then they forget there's a lot of people in the hobby that could also fix it. So you have to be not afraid to break anything. And if you're looking for a new rig, the Hamfest is coming up soon, so that might be a good opportunity to get a used rig if you want one. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of 7300s for sale, since they just released, they announced that new 7300. So if you're in the